Hey, 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 it's our kind of people. Season 1, Episode 8, Sistervention. And this was a real good episode. Wasn't it a good episode, y'all? Barbie J having fun, just messing around. But this was a really good episode. I enjoyed this one thoroughly. That's right. We're talking about our kind of people, season 1, episode 8, Sistervention. And before we get started, shout out to everybody in my comment section and all of those of you who have subscribed to my channel. I appreciate you guys for holding me down. Season's greetings, happy holidays. You know all of that. And if you have not subscribed to my channel, please take a moment right now and subscribe now. And if you would like to know every time Barbie J uploads a new video, please hit that little notification bell. That little notification bell will let you know every time I upload something new. And then once you have subscribed, what y'all got to do, honey? You know what you got to do. You got to like, comment, and share. Like the video. Comment and write something. Come on, let's know how you felt about the show. It ain't just about me, it's about all of us. Let us all know how you felt about the show, what you think might happen or might not happen, and then share with somebody else who you think might be interested. Okay? So let's move on. It starts off, how did it start off, y'all? Y'all know how it started off with Teddy Franklin. He always getting well so soon and he back home and everything. But it's his birthday and it's in the morning and they're about to have breakfast. And of course, Raymond DuPont is not there. Leah makes sure to let the maid, I don't know, what do they call household technicians? The maid, the help, the servants, I don't know. Excuse me. She lets them know that Raymond won't be there. And Lauren's like, what? Like, are we never going to see my father again? You know, she made some little smart comment. You know how Lauren is. So, the kids leave and, after they call him all kind of, what did he say? Like, I forgot what Q called his grandfather, but I was like, oh, please, that man is not all of that. Anyway, they chat, Leah and Teddy chat alone about, what he needs her to do, and he's saying he's feeling some, he said that, he's putting Leah in charge, until he's cleared to go back to work, and he's like, he's telling her, just be you, do this, do that. And he tells her to lead with strength. Show that Franklin spirit, blood that she got in him, Then they had a scene, I don't know what they were saying. They showed Tariq and Angela in bed and they're talking about their day, what they're going to do that day. And everything looked like it's good between them. But, I guess she always wants to talk. And he wasn't interested in talking because he's feeling guilty about Teddy being sick, even though it wasn't his fault. So she told him she was going to see Teddy that day. He said things look like they're going great between them. And she said, it's a work in progress. And that's what it is. So when Angela gets there to see Teddy, he's happy to see her and he invites her to his annual birthday party. Then as she leaves out, you hear Alex on the news talking about how Franklin Holdings stocks are dropping after everybody learns of CEO Theodore Franklin's Parkinson's disease announcement. And I'm just like, really? She's disgusting for doing that. But she was hard up for a story, and that's what people do. You got to be downright dirty sometimes. Ha ha. Then we got Raymond. He comes back home saying he ain't going nowhere. He and Leah talk. He's saying hi to the kids. Kids excited to see him and everything. And then him and Leah talk, and they start arguing. Not too loud, but they argue a bit, And he says, he's not going anywhere, because he's staying there and he's fighting for us. He said, I'm fighting for us, baby. I'm fighting for us. He got to love Jones. Oh, yes. And then we got Raymond. He goes to see Jack. This is some ish. We haven't seen Jack in a while in any of these episodes. And he asks him to sign some papers. Jack is playing tennis and really don't even care to talk to him for some reason. I'm like, well, what is going on here? And Jack is like, why are you so interested in getting the place back, the business back? He said, We got it good. We got the same salary and everything. We don't have to do anything. Why you need to get back to that control of Darman again? So, Teddy, Raymond is like, yo, dude, like I got kids. I have a legacy to pass down to my children, unlike yourself. And plus, Jack's family is rich, and in another episode, I think Raymond, to let me know if I'm right, y'all, didn't Raymond let him know about himself in another episode of how, how hard he has to work, where Jack just chills all the time and don't be getting into all of that stuff. He don't do nothing. He little rich boy. If I was a rich boy, da 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 da. Let me stop. Then you got Angela and Nikki. They chatting, and Angela's like, "Isn't it cool how it's strange how we both getting to know our fathers at the same time?" And I was like, "Hey, that is right. They are both getting to know their fathers." Isn't that something? That's interesting. So she was asking her how she's handling it. And she basically said she was handling it well. But, her eyes were saying something else. That's what I saw, something else in that. I don't know what it was, but I did see something else. So then Angela goes to see Leah after, a board meeting. And she's looking a little stressed, And as she's talking to her about stuff, Leah's looking a little like standoffish to me. Did y'all see that? Did y'all notice that? And Angela told her, that's it. Okay, you need to clear your calendar for the rest of the day. I can't do that. Yes, you can. And last I checked, your name was on the outside of the building. Am I wrong? She started laughing. She's like, look, come on. Because she asked her how she was doing after that day in the elevator. But y'all, that day in the elevator, tell me what that reminded y'all of. I was talking to my sister about this and we was laughing. Didn't that remind you of Jay-Z and Beyonce in the elevator with her sister? I forgot her sister just now. Her sister was kicking his butt for cheating on Beyonce. Come on, am I right, y'all? Y'all know when Solange was beating up Jay-Z in that elevator that time. That's all we just saw with Angela and Leah and Raymond in that elevator the other week. I was laughing. We were cracking up. They said they done took a page out of that book with the cameras from the elevator watching. And me and my sister just laughed about that and laughed because that's all it looked like to us. Anyway, what else happened? So she told him, you need a Sistervention. Cancel your day. You need a Sistervention. They went out to the pool and everything and was chilling out there having drinks. We have Nikki. She meets up with her father and he's like saying he needs her help shopping. He doesn't know, he's been away for so long. He don't know how to pick out a suit and stuff. And he was invited to Teddy's birthday party. Why is he invited to Teddy's birthday party? He knew fresh out of jail and Teddy inviting him to everything, letting him stay in his guest house and all this stuff. That man is, something ain't right. Teddy is a rotten soul. He's rotten to the core. I'm telling you. Anyway, so she was like, cool, I'll take you shopping. I'll help you pick out something. But her eyes always seem like something strange, like she's not sure or she might be a little uncomfortable. Does anybody else see that? That's what I've been seeing in Nikki's eyes. So while Angela and them are at the pool and Leah says she's having a problem with, not Leah, Angela tells that she wanted to play a little game or something. They share stuff or whatever it is. And she shares that she's having a little problem with talking to Tariq, having conversations, about how he's feeling and things that are going on and everything. And Tariq is using sex as a deterrent to to change the subject. If she want to talk, he'll end up having sex with her or anything else. And then she said he uses his tongue for everything else except for the talking that she needs him to do. I said, damn, lick. What he doing with that tongue, girl? And shoot, you don't want it, I might take it. Okay, Barbie J, stop being naughty. Okay, I will. I'll stop being naughty. Okay, so then she goes, Leah, it's your turn. And Leah's like, yeah, well, it's about the same with Raymond, But Leah did give her advice. She said first that she's known, Tariq a long time. She called him Ty. I've known Ty a long time. And, just give him some time. And then when it's time to push, don't push too hard, but just when it's time, push a little bit, he'll come around. So then Leah says that, things are around the same with her and Raymond as well, and that the sex is always great. It's great sex. Like, oh, I said, oh, I bet you he is great sex. Oh, I don't know. But that dark chocolate Mars chestnut, I tell you, I can't help it. But anyway, she said they stopped communicating the way they used to. And Angela jumped in and said, those orgasms have a way of shutting you up, don't they? No. Anyway, so Angela goes to said, well, let me go get more drinks. And Leah's trying to tell her, they do come around and ask you for drinks. You don't have to go and get them. But then, Angela walked away real quick to get them more drinks because she said Leah drinks too slow anyway. I don't know. Leah drinks like a lady, and I guess Angela's guzzling. I don't know. So when she walks away, Jack steps up. And he's at the pool looking at her saying like, oh, I can't believe you here at the pool and stuff like that. And she's like, yeah, well, I needed to take some time. And he's like, asked about her father, and he heard about it on the news and all this stuff. And she said, he's doing fine. Every day's getting stronger, whatever she told him. Anyway. So then he mentions that kiss. He shouldn't have never did that way. She said, yeah, really. Okay. And he tells her, he kind of was apologizing, but not apologizing, mentioning that they always had something, there's always been something special between them or something, whatever that means. And then he tells her he's staying in bungalow number 3 and he leaves a card there. And she's looking at him, if she ever needs to talk. That's why, if you ever need to talk, and he leaves his card there for bungalow number 3. And she's like, what am I supposed to do with that? And I'm like, hold up, wait a minute, mother swinger. This white boy done lost his damn mind. Do he know who Raymond is? Damn, Raymond looked like he could fight, So then we got cute. He comes home and there's some young girl there that I guess she was one of the maids, household technicians or whatever, housekeepers. I don't know what they call. One of the service workers or whatever. One of their daughters is there, and she was asking him, she see him in a suit saying, what, you don't go on corporate? And he's saying how he working with his father and stuff, and how he I think the girl's name was Sloan. I think she said her name was Sloan. And he's working with his father because one day he's going to have to run Dharman. And she said, one of the things she always liked about him was that he was almost like not a free spirit, but he knew what he wanted to do. He wanted to go into the NBA and stuff, and never was interested in that corporate stuff. At least that's the way he made her feel. But he was like, So she said, she's going to hang out. And if he want to come, if he could get away from the office, to come, and she told him where she would be. And he was like, okay. So he thought about that because he's like, when my father says he needs me to take over Darman and blah, 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 blah. So I have to get ready, So then we got Teddy. Teddy, what did he do? He calls Raymond, and I think he's in a car or something, driving, whatever, but it's not a very good conversation. And Raymond is not mincing words. He comes out and tells him how he feels about him. And he lays into him pretty hard. And at the end, he goes, happy birthday, old man, or something like that. And gives his respect, like his birthday wishes to him after he taught him a new one, almost the way he spoke to him. And he said, have a good day. He said, it's going to be a fabulous one or something like that. So he didn't even move Teddy. His words didn't do anything to Teddy in that respect. Nothing. Then we got Nikki and Nate. This was an interesting scene where Nikki and Nate, they out having them a little good time. And it looked like they are near some water or something. I don't know where they were, but they had finished shopping. And then you hear a police car come up, boop, boop. They make that sound, boop, boop. And they get out and they're talking on their radios, and it looked like they're looking at Nate, and they're coming that way, and Nate's yelling some numbers out to Nikki, da 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 da, and call Teddy and let him know or something like that. And she's like, what? What are the numbers? And he like almost freezes. He freezes and he can't tell her. And she's like, Nate, give me the rest of the numbers. Nate, what's the numbers? She's like, Dad. And the police officers walk past him. And he's like, and it's like he froze, like he had a flashback of going to jail or something because they saw him in a store. He's a black man that was in a white man's store, and he's thinking they're going to come in and get him. And it's a misunderstanding, but he just feels like he's in trouble. And that scene did something to me because she was nervous. He freaked her out. She was freaked out behind that, as you can see from the rest of the episode. And Tariq goes to apologize to Teddy about what happened. He thinks he's responsible for Teddy having apologized, the heart attack. And Teddy's like, nah. And he tells him, it's not a problem. Don't worry about it. He said, he apologized to him and said, I should have told you about your father's attempted murder a long time ago. I thought I was protecting you. Everybody always think they was protecting somebody, and all they do is make it worse, So he said he set up a date for him to pitch his stadium contract to the VIPs. And then they hug, and Tariq tells him how, thankful he is and grateful to him for that and everything. And so here it is, the night of the party. Everybody's looking fantabulous. I'm telling you, the 60s was something else. They got the dresses with the shingle and the headwear and the shoes and the beautiful, and doing a Lindy Hop. And oh my God, I had learned how to do the Lindy Hop before. And I had a dress like that once, with the little shaky things on it, little fringes on it. I tell you, I enjoyed that scene with them all dancing for the father. They were dancing for Teddy. And first each daughter danced with him, and then the granddaughters danced around him, and then the grandson, he danced and stuff. And they all danced for him while he sat in a chair, which was really cool. I really enjoyed that part. But before all of that fun dancing and stuff, Tariq comes in, and Angela's like over there to him, and he came across the room and tell her how beautiful she looked. And he looked kind of snazzy too, with that green on and everything. And the wide brim hat. I love those hats. So she started bringing up stuff. We're going to have to talk soon. Why are you bringing that up at a damn party? So, of course, he snapped at her. And she was like, okay, I just was saying. He said, look, everybody. He did a toast to Teddy Franklin. He said, you see, everybody's here to have fun. Can we just have fun? I was like, damn. He's really feeling like I said, guilty about what happened to Teddy, even though Teddy said it's okay. So Nate saw this happen, and he came over later to talk to Angela about what he saw, and he told about what he saw that happened, and he told her about what happened earlier that day with the police, and asked had Nikki said anything, and she said no. What's going on? And he said about being strong and all this stuff, and she said she would talk to him later about that. So after everybody dances for Teddy, Raymond and Q talk, and he said, Quincy, let me call him Quincy, they talk, and he said to him, he told his father he doesn't want to do the Darman internship anymore. He's like, what? And they having this whole conversation. He's like, but you never asked me. He said, but every man going down has done it. It's like your legacy, and we've all done it. I don't know how many generations, he said, have done it. He said, yeah, but did you ever ask me to do it? He said, you taught me that I should fight for what I love and what I enjoy or something like that. He said, and that's what I want to do. That's what I'm doing. He said, I'm not sure what I want to do, but I know this is not it. So, Raymond couldn't say much since, he's the one who told him. He's the one who told him to fight, he said. So, he has to respect that his son doesn't want to follow in his footsteps or whatever. So then Lauren over there is talking to her mom, and she's looking at her mom, looking at her father, let me say their names. Lauren is watching Leah looking at Raymond and stuff. And then she's told her mom, I know you think I'm a daddy's girl, but, I would have felt really upset. I don't like what that girl, daddy's ex did to you, what she did and to us or whatever it was. So she let her mother, no, I'm with you. But her mother said, thank you, sweetie, but I can protect my own heart. So she let her know that, and she walked away. Then Angela, at some point, I must have missed something. I don't know how she knew that Leah was sitting in that car. If anybody knows, please let me know. But Angela gets into Leah's car and they talk. And she's asking her what she's doing in there. And she tells him about Raymond's business partner, Jack, gave her the card and she could just go in there and ruin her whole, marriage and throw it up, throw it away. But she didn't do it. She's not sure about it. And Angela talks to her and gives her such great advice. And she talks about being, she said, why don't you tell Raymond everything you just said to me? She said, why don't you be open and honest and vulnerable? She said, being vulnerable that's power, and that's what many people don't do. So she thought about that. So then it switched. Then she got out the car and left. But then we got Quincy. He goes to see that girl about going to hang out at some after party because the girl is like, Mr. Franklin's party's over. He said, but it's the after party. And her mom, I guess that head maid or whatever, well, I'm going to call them household technicians. She comes and she blocks that and said, this girl is off limits. You might talk to all those other ones, but you ain't messing with this one. I said, get her mama, block that, because ain't nothing but trouble looking that way, especially now he don't want to have anything to do with, his father's business. And he went and told the girl, I took your advice. So he doing some mess because she said it. I don't know what that's all about, but we'll find out later. So then Raymond goes to see Jack. Hallelujah. I thought he found that card. I thought Leah had gone back and told him something. But he goes to see Jack and he says, yeah, I heard that you're not going to sign the papers now. He said, I see. How did he say that? You sold your shares to Teddy. He said, that's right. I sold my shares to Teddy and now, we're no longer partners. Basically, you could go to him if you have a problem. I don't have no papers I need to sign. And he's like, I knew I shouldn't have trusted your ass. And he said, yep, you shouldn't have. And he said, that's right. We ain't no longer business partners. And if you can't handle Leah, I can now go after Leah or something like that. You going to talk to some black man about going after his wife? Raymond knocked his ass out and proceeded to whoop him till his blood was coming out his nose and his mouth. Raymond whooped his ass with 4 punches, maybe only 3, whatever. And Jack was on the floor and Teddy was on top of him. I'm not Teddy, I'm sorry. Raymond was on top of him, whooping him. And I was like, he deserved that big time. Then Angela briefly spoke to Nikki about what if, we had Nate move in with us? Would you like that, so you could have a closer relationship with your father, because he really wants to get out of Teddy Franklin's guest house and doesn't want to stay there. So she thought it was a good idea. So that was nice. So they had their little heart-to-heart about being vulnerable. And Nikki was like, Mommy, but you so strong. I'm not like you. And she was like, no, I'm not always strong. I had to be a mother and a father. I had to hold it down. It's been hard for me and everything. So they had that little heart-to-heart and that worked out. Raymond and Leah, they had a little heart-to-heart talk. They had an honest talk, if you ask me, and it was from their hearts, you could say. And it was like, how did we get to where we are? How did this happen? And they started sharing, and she was like keeping secrets. And she said, I thought I was doing something to help you, to protect you. And then it just ended up being messy and doing this. And they both shared and stuff. And so then he was leaving after they talked. Raymond was leaving, and she was like, where you going? He said, well, I wanted to be, I wanted to give you that space that you wanted. You said you wanted space, so I know you don't want me to sleep with you. She said, who said anything about sleeping? I said, oh, yeah, girl. That's right. She pulled down that robe and said, who said any damn thing about sleeping? Because she already told us that the sex is good in her neighborhood. Oh, man, I'm so jealous. I'll tell you. And then they get it on. Let's get it on. Sugar, let's get it on. Let's make love, baby. Let's get it on. Okay, anyway. And it ended with Lauren was in her mom's car. And she's like telling Quincy, hurry up, we gotta use mommy's car. And she finds that bungalow car key for bungalow 3. And she calls the operator and she said, yes, can I have bungalow 3? And they said, sorry, Mr. Such and such is not there. And she's like, Jack such and such, Jack Hartman. And she's like shocked and she hangs up. So her mind is racing right now. Because remember, I think she came in there when she thought she saw, when he tried to kiss her mother before. She always seemed to be there. So then lastly, Angela calls Nate, to the house, and she discusses, just with him what her and, she and Nikki had decided about maybe he should move in with them, and he said he don't want no handouts and stuff, and she's like, handouts is living in that guest house, and he's saying, you got to let me be a man, you got to let me be strong, I need to have my relationship with my daughter, I really want to get to know her, meaning you can't control everything, let me be. So she's like, okay, and then they hug, and as soon as they hug, of course, who walks in? Tariq comes in there stone cold drunk, wanting to talk. Well, you said you wanted to talk. Oh, he pushing up on you. Nobody pushing up on me. And he getting stupid, and he pumping his chest like he want to do something. And I didn't think Nate should have said something. Nate said something, you ain't worth it, or something like that. I was like, see, you just egging it on. And Angela's like telling him, look, baby, you drunk. Could you come back later? We'll talk. We do have to talk, but you need to come back later. And you know what? Tariq was like, you know what? Maybe none of this is worth it. It ain't worth it. I'm leaving. But why he all tore up and drunk? Tariq was not acting like that before, and he wasn't acting like that morning. So I don't know what's going on, but I guess we'll find out later. But this is how this episode went, and it was a great episode. I enjoyed it thoroughly. Y'all let me know what y'all think about it. This is your girl, Barbie J, saying peace.